Hi, this is Matthew Kelly with On Air, and for today we have Jose Carlos Valencia. He wrote an awesome novel called Sobre unas cartas. Jose, can you tell us what that means?
It makes much more sense in Spanish actually. It's sobre unas cartas, and it means about some letters, not letters meaning like each
The alphabet.
alphabet, but
Literal.
correspondence.
Okay. This is an awesome book. I read it in just a few weeks. So, Jose, can you tell me what the inspiration of your book was?
Well, you will think that it's a biography of myself, but it's not. It's actually there's various stories from people that I know. More than anything, romantic moments of people that I happen to know here or in Peru, where I'm from, and basically it's like a compilation of all those stories, serving to like a main theme.
So, this book has taken sort of a lifetime to be inspired by.
I will say probably 10 years.
And
10
how old are you
years.
now?
I'm 30 now.
Okay.
So we're gonna say since I was 20, all these feelings. I was very interested in the feelings that people have when they fall in love, when they they have various reasons to fall in love, and analyze which one is the best to obey. Your soul can obey what you're seeing in that moment with a particular person, like a partner, and the process of I don't want to call it process, but of falling in love, we're gonna say, and all the little moments that are described in our lives. So I just decided to go ahead and put them in a book.
So all these characters are inspired by real life people?
Some of them, and some others. I'll say probably the majority.
Mhm.
The majority are based on real people, but not all of them. Actually there are some characters that they're kind of similar to what the real life person will be in my life, but I changed in some way the personality of each one of those characters, so it doesn't approach too much to like I don't want to call it boring, but more reality, like I say, and put more like spice on it.
Nice. So I'm curious, if this was sort of inspired by your own life, what is the difference between the character that's in this novel and yourself?
There's a lot of difference. We're gonna start with the fiction that I placed into the book while I was writing it. That's one. The second one will be the character doesn't react to moments in life that happen to him in the same way that I will react. It's more. He's a little bit more passionate. He's more engaging. We're gonna say to things that happens. He takes like things like really like it in the very sentimental, romantic, way of things. So,
Interesting. I'm curious too about how the symbolism of your book translated to the design of this book cover. It's really beautiful.
oh well, I'm a student of graphic design. Actually, this book was one of my projects.
Did you bind this yourself as well?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did, and it was. I think it came out great. I think personally that I did a good job with it, and of course I'm not very professional with it. Like I'm not like entirely professional.
You tricked me.
Thank you. But most like everything that you see in that particular book, I made it myself. And,
I'm looking at it. It almost looks like this could have been screen printed.
I think I had that in mind. I had that in mind at first, but I did some impressions of screen print, because now that you say it, I had that idea,
Uh-huh.
and that idea went
Oh,
away,
wow.
and then I just did some little stuff in there.
Yeah, that's a nice little highlight.
Yeah, this one is playing Karachi. I don't
Interesting.
know why. I was just having fun in that project,
Yeah, I
and
like that.
it was awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
What problems did you have while you were binding this book?
I didn't know it was gonna be that complicated actually. For instance, the gluing part of the interior sheet, this
Oh,
one
wow.
that goes here, it was very, very hard to do, and there was like a lot of math, measurements there. That was the hardest part of it. The rest was fun to do, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that it turned out really well. I have a few other questions. Do you have any more ideas for your next book?
I do have some ideas,
Mhm.
and it's gonna have the same. It's not based on the first book, but in this first book, but it had some stuff from it. I'm not gonna say it's the second part. It's like a story behind of one of the stories of the book. It's
Like a prequel in some way.
It is, but it's the book that I'm thinking about, that I'm actually writing right now. I wish I had more time to finish right away, but I don't have much time for this, because this is just a hobby that I do.
Yeah.
But I really like it. I love writing. So the story here that I'm starting to write, it's more about this a family. We're gonna say a family of the main character there, which is it's a very interesting story. Kind of, it has some stuff from my family too, from
Okay.
other families. It's kind of keep that integrating stories into one.
Interesting.
That's kind of the things that I like to do, and yeah, I think maybe ready like 2 years, maybe next year.
So all in all, from the inception of the idea of this book to completely and finally binding it, how long did this whole process take?
If you put a lot of effort in it, you can make. You mean the total?
Just how
writing
long?
the book?
Yeah, everything took.
Writing the book, it took like 1 year for writing the book. I'll say a year and a couple of months, and then since we had this project at school, it took me 2 quarters, say 6 months to finally bind it. I was researching about how to bind it, and there is here like the Greek classic way of doing it. I researched a video
Yeah.
on YouTube, and it was really good actually. It was in Italian,
Yeah.
but it's pretty similar to Spanish in some words, so I was able to figure it out.
Oh, great. Well, it turned out really well, and I'm really excited for
Thank you.
its publishing. So, Jose, I was curious, where do you find your inspiration for writing?
Mostly from Lima. I will say Lima. In Peru, it for some tourists can be really annoying. I know that, for the traffic and all those stuff. But the very core of the history of such a old city like is Lima, and all the streets, little streets in the center, and close to the sea, there's this view which is amazing. I have one of my places there that I chose this place in Miraflores, which is it's in this mall called Larcomar, and there is some bench there. It's the view from there it's beautiful, and that actually that's the places where I write are the inspiration here. Queen Anne here is one of them.
Yeah.
And some beaches through the in the Puget Sound. I'm very attracted by the sea, by the water, and that's one of the things I do if I want to write. I know I have to go there. I know it's very important for me.
And so what do you what do you expect, or what should readers expect from reading your book?
Yes, they wouldn't find, because I'm not a very experienced writer. They won't find a very conventional, very conventional literature.
Oh, okay.
Or drama. And the story it has very peaks where you don't expect it, and plus is I don't want to apologize about it because I like my novel, but it's the first one that I'm making, and there's a lot of variety, and the classical way of writing, you're not gonna find it there. It's I'll define it myself a little bit more complicated than that, but it's still it's fun to read, and it keeps you in the story.
And so, with readers reading this book, what would you like to say to them?
Just don't think of all the reasoning things, the way of reasoning for a character. I'm not saying the character is crazy, it's just that's his way of being, doing things very, unexpected things, impulsive, and go with it, have fun with it, with the book. That's what I will say to the reader.
Well, great. I'm sure many are really excited to read this book. Is there anything else that you'd like to share to our audience before our show comes to a close?
I think we said a lot about what the content of my first book is, and I would like to thank all the readers, the future readers, and the readers that I have now. I have a couple good reviews of it, and I'm looking forward to continue writing. And yes, thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for coming on today.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you.